Zooming. The most popular and overused camera effect is the zoom. Actually, zooming is not a camera move. Zooming is lens movement. It simply reduces or enlarges the entire image.
That's very important. When you think about it, isn't that right? Zooming, the camera doesn't move. It's the internal elements of the lens that are changing, and they're producing an effect analogous to looking down a microscope and changing the magnification. If any of you have ever done that, where you've looked down a microscope, and some of them have the ability to adjust the magnification, the entire image goes from small to large or large to small, depending upon how you turn it. It's not a very realistic effect. Humans don't see that way. We don't have the ability, I can't look at you or anyone in this room and suddenly bring you in bigger. It's a totally unrealistic effect, and it was designed for a purpose. It was designed years and years ago when they first started doing productions that went into color. They used to have to change a turret of lenses. They'd have one lens that was wide angle, one lens that was normal, and one lens that was telephoto. And that was fine as long as they were working in black and white. But what happened when they got into color, they would change the lens for one shot from wide angle to, let's say, normal or to telephoto. And because the lenses were each different, they each gave a slightly different color rendition. So that we can't live with that. The color of the video is changing, or the color of the movies is changing every time we change the lens. How can we simplify this? And then some genius came up with the idea of a zoom lens. So the intention of a zoom lens is to do just that. It's to change the composition of your shot conveniently. You don't have to physically get up and move your camera. You can just change the ratio of the zoom without having to do a lot of nonsense of moving people around or moving yourself around. But what people have done, though, especially now that they've motorized them, is they've gotten to use it as kind of like a joystick. And really, and it is not to be used that way. We will show you examples of correct and incorrect zooming techniques, when to use it, why to use it. Also, it's important to remember that because it's such an unnatural move, camera activity, this idea of zooming, it's hardly ever used in movies. When you watch a movie, go down and watch movies on the theater, if they want to get closer to a subject, they almost always do it by moving the camera physically closer to the subject. So if I wanted to get closer to this gentleman here, and I was doing it professionally, I would be on a dolly, and I would end up dollying the camera right up towards this man. That's a natural feeling of walking up closer to the person. Whereas zooming, so seeing the guy magnify himself towards you, is so unnatural that they very rarely use it in Hollywood movies. I've seen it a couple of times for greatly dramatic effect, but other than that, it's very rarely used.